Hi, I'm Tom Stephenson, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is kind of a special video. If you've been following the channel for a while, I just wanted to thank everyone for watching and helping the channel grow. And I wanted to give a little bit of background and sort of where it's come from and where the channel's going with regards to the content, which has been very construction related, and how, if you're new to the channel, you can find information that may be helpful for you in advancing yourself or entering into a career in construction. So I'm really thankful to have achieved 50,000 subscribers and over 3 million views in the past 5 years. I'm just gonna talk about that a little bit and where it came from. You know, I think that a lot of us struggle with things in our lives and in our careers, and just what having an idea can do for you. So I started this channel, and people ask me, oh, what gave you the idea to start this? And it was kind of the depths of COVID. It just started. People were scrambling around, especially in the teaching environment. I'm a professor of construction management here in Toronto, Canada. And, everything was closed down. Everybody was struggling with things. But I kind of learned a little bit of video editing a few years before, and I was kind of reasonably comfortable starting to shoot some videos. And, my goal was very short term in the beginning. I was just sort of thinking about, well, how can I get information to my students the most easy way? To be honest, our learning management system was struggling a lot with any kind of big data and that sort of thing. And so whenever I did a video online, I recorded those and just getting used to Zoom, but I also reshot them. That was just pure content, so students could just access that pure content. At the same time, I was listening to podcasts. One of the podcasts that I listen to fairly frequently is Tim Ferriss, and he kind of said, well, what could you do right now that you would look back on and look at a positive way? Off into the future, 1 year, 5 years down the road. Well, it's 5 years. And I can definitely look back on this in a very positive way. And I thought that at the time after listening to the Tim Ferriss podcast, well, this is something I could do. I could create this YouTube channel. And I very soon after creating it saw that this was really a medium to help others at scale. Now, I've written textbooks on print reading, understanding construction drawings for housing and small buildings, for project management, planning and scheduling of construction projects. And it does reach a certain scale. They've sold tens of thousands of books. But I never really comprehended the amount of scale that you could reach people with YouTube. Like from a teaching point of view, I know there's like cat videos and all that kind of stuff, but it started to dawn on me that this was an excellent medium to do this. And I really enjoy the creativity aspect. It kind of forces me to look at things and sort of see things, and there's an idea in there that I can unpack. And I can't always unpack those ideas in a classroom. A lot of them I do, and my students hopefully would concur with that. But can I unpack some ideas that I have some other thoughts on? Like I just shot a video, my last video was on Navy SEAL quotes and principles and values that they have that could be applicable to the construction industry, could be applicable to business in general, to be honest. And that was fun. That was fun, sort of taking some of these and making connections, because there are a lot of very good, relevant connections. And I think if you have certain sayings, certain quotes that come to mind, it can really help you to remember that when you're executing things in the field. Like slow is smooth, smooth is fast, as a quick example. You can see how that can be very relevant to things in construction. So I've really enjoyed that, and it does scratch my own itch, so to speak. Another Tim Ferriss kind of quote there is that, well, if you can do something and it makes you better at the other things you do, that's a great thing. So I've kind of taken that philosophy for everything I've done over the last 35 years or 40 years or so in teaching and in construction, and like consulting and working with companies. Well, that keeps me current. That helps me to identify current issues that they're having and help to problem solve those issues. And when I help to problem solve those issues, then that gives me some currency in teaching my students at the college. So one thing kind of feeds the other. The creativity part in YouTube really helps because it makes me really aware of making changes and looking and observing at how these changes are occurring and how they can be positive in our application in construction, and it gets me to try things. And then I get feedback from you. You give me feedback all the time, or you have questions. Like, I hope you ask a question during this video. Like right now, ask a question. Maybe it's about what content I have. Maybe it's a question you have about construction. What drew you to this video, etc. And that often, like most often, I do answer the questions. Some questions maybe not, because it's going to take another whole video, but then it gives me an idea for a video. But definitely I try to respond as much as I can, and it's wonderful because I learn about South Africa, I learn about Australia, I learn about Hong Kong, I learn the Middle East, I learn about UK and Europe, and so I see different problems, but I also hear different scenarios that, oh, did you ever think of this? Did you try this? And it gives me ideas. So it's a two-way learning street that I find running a YouTube channel that's very sort of industry allocated. And in Microsoft Project, it's a software I use, and basically, and I do a lot of videos on it. And so I get a lot of questions on that. And that, some of them I don't know the answer, but then I look at and then I figure it out. And so that makes me better. So it really does scratch my own itch in that way. And so, in the channel up to now, I've been covering a lot of topics, anything construction related as possible. So I've covered a lot of sort of one-offs in certain things. Project management, a large topic that is, including leadership, planning, scheduling, HR, basically people and culture. So you see other spin-offs throughout here. Site management, the connections between project management and site management. Then there's the whole construction business management. There's a lot of people out there that are wanting to start a construction business. And so I have a whole wealth of videos in that topic. And print reading, that's another whole area that seems to be really of interest to people to advance their skills in that, because that can take you from being a laborer to perhaps getting a project coordinator position at some point if you're advancing those skills. You don't get anywhere without being able to read prints, right? Understanding scheduling and how it works, and then integrating that also with changes in the construction industry, like lean construction methods, and how the industry has changed. We have to change in this industry. That's a big topical area too. The amount of waste in construction and how can we improve in those areas. So I have a series of videos that tie to that, and that's like something I really want to be diving into. How do we control costs, and how can we be more effective at managing projects and delivering projects? We need trillions of dollars of infrastructure to be developed, but it's so expensive. It's expensive for governance, it's expensive for developers, it's expensive all through the gambit. So we have to look at ways of being able to deliver our projects fundamentally more effectively, efficiently, and profitably, and deliver value to the people that are requiring it. And that ties a lot with lean principles that I discuss. People and culture, well, getting people's commitments really important. One of the things I've also been doing is book reviews. So books that may not be specific to construction, but it has a lot of connections to improving yourself and improving your companies And it does tie a lot to construction. So you can check out the book reviews. All of these I have pretty much playlists on. And if you check my playlists, you'll see that they're under various headings. And if you can follow them in order. I shot a bunch of 0-0 videos trying to organize these categories a little bit better. So I'll leave a listing in the description of the 0-0 links, and that should lead you to other videos. But check the playlist. That's probably the easiest. And then you just see the categories, and the ones that interest you, you can follow. And areas that I want to go in the future are that I'm thinking about, and I would appreciate your feedback. I listen to a certain amount of podcasts, particularly like the Founders series by David Senna. I listen to Farnham Street, which is Shane Parrish's channel. He's currently kind of adapting into this way, I noticed, of having sort of founders discussions based on biographical books or autobiographical books. And it's amazing. I've just been experimenting a little bit, like just on Rockefeller as an example, and the connections between Rockefeller and some lean principles. Not all there, but certain ones. And then learning from people in the past, there's certain things that they transcend technology. And then there's certain technologies that really have advanced certain leaders, and that could be connections. But I want to try to get us looking at other success points, other struggles, and how those connect. So I hope that'll be an interesting series to run. I plan to expand into print reading. I'm just finishing up my 5th edition of Understanding Construction Drawings for Housing and Small Buildings. So I'll start promoting that soon, but not yet. But a lot of work going into that. Lean construction, well, it's just part of my thinking that I've learned in the last 10 years. AI integration, you've noticed a few videos that I've started in that realm, and you'll see more. I've been taking courses on that and really trying to better understand it. The thing with AI is you don't really need to take courses on it. You need to try it and experiment with it. But it can quicken your learning on that by just getting a little bit of understanding about the limitations, but also the huge advantages that it can have. And changing and updating a lot of the playlists, there's stuff I put out there 5 years ago that there's a number of changes. There wasn't any AI 5 years ago that was like publicly available. So I have to go in and start looking at those. And I really want to look at careers in more depth, because I work with my students. I work with hundreds of students personally every semester. This semester, probably around 400. And helping with careers and helping those that want to get into the construction industry is fundamentally important to me. I find I get a great deal of satisfaction when I see students succeeding. Recently, we went to a Turner Construction Canada site, and it was really, really heartening to see the excitement that students were having. I just feel like this industry is such a great industry. We can make it better. There's a lot of things we can improve, which makes it fun in a lot of ways if you reframe those things. And things that then, what it takes to lead a successful life. And so that's kind of branching off a little bit more, but my background is construction, so it's definitely going to relate there in one way, shape, or form. But I definitely think there's things and connections. And I think there's a lot of people in construction that really need to work on themselves. They're always working on their jobs, but working on yourself, you get better with yourself, then you're going to get better at what you do. So I hope that's helpful to give an overview of the channel. And again, I really want to thank everyone, how much I appreciate the support, the kind words that people put in the comments. It's so nice. And I feel like I know a lot of you because you have discussions with me back and forth. So I really, really do appreciate your support. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe, try the channel out, and leave comments. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.